Welcome back to Wait, What? Let's Unpack That. I'm Shauna Day, and we're back with part 2 of my conversation with my friend and high school guidance counselor, Joy Cooper. If you missed part 1, it's available. And if you've already watched, you know there's still more to talk about. So let's unpack the rest of this conversation.
So again, we have to open up. We got to have those hard conversations.
Yeah.
And we really have to allow students the opportunity to explore something different for themselves. Right. Don't feel that they have to judge themselves by other people, because I'm going to tell you something. If the students that watch this later on, just know your friend's lying to you. I'm
True.
telling you, I'm not telling you what I heard.
It's what
we
you
have
know.
college signing day, where you supposed to get your little thing and put it up, and we give you a little cupcake and we celebrate where you say you're going. We had a girl that created an entire TikTok where you reveal where you got accepted. You got to sit there and open up. They create this whole thing. She made up the whole thing. She going right to BC. And ain't nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
But you made a whole TikTok so you could show off in front of everybody about all these places you got into. But I know the real story, because I'm the one that has to send your final transcript to where you're actually going.
But you know what? It goes back to what you said. People would rather it's the show as opposed to actually having whether it's the knowledge, whether it's the admissions, I'm going to show it. As long as you think it, that's fine. And then I'll do something different. And I think that's really sad to me, because there are more than 5,000 colleges and universities in the United States.
Good ones.
And there's schools that people have never heard of that are great schools, are great schools, and give plenty money. Because some of these smaller schools, right, that have money, that have these large endowments, they're the ones giving the scholarships. You flocking over to some of these larger public and private schools, and maybe they're giving you a little bit of money to use, but some of these smaller schools have long dollars to give you multiple years worth of scholarships. That's room and board.
Right. And they care about, I think that you should not be basing it off of the name or the status. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with UF or FSU or some of the, or even some of the Ivy League schools. If you get in and you get the opportunity and you're well prepared, kudos to you. But we also have to give voice to some of these other schools and programs that really care about the student. Some of these HBCUs that some people have never heard about. Right. And they're going to take care and watch over your student. Would you rather have your child going away where there's somebody that's going to watch over your student, and that advisor that's going to care about their future, and that's going to get them the internships? Because it doesn't just stop. Everybody thinks, okay, I get in, that's it. No, you got to
that's just the beginning.
That's just the start of it. You got in, but you got to get good study habits. You got to maybe get a grant, maybe work study, or you got to eat.
You got to eat. You got to, and you got to learn how college works, and you got to use the resources. And maybe this year you use this set of resources, and you got to ask questions and ask good questions so that you'll know what's available to you as you're being a college student. And so many people just go to class and they don't know, oh, there's tutoring in this, there's homework help over here, there's this study group. And people don't know that because sometimes they're just focused on class, or I think a lot of people feel like they have to know it all when they go to, okay, I don't want to look like I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't want to look like I don't know. So
nobody wants to ask any questions. Everybody wants it. But one thing you find out, if one person don't know where they're going and everybody starts following that person, none of y'all don't know where y'all going. And you got to ask for directions. That's a really hard thing for kids these days. They just don't want to stop. And I know you could get the information probably off of your phone or off of your computer.
But sometimes you can't.
Like conversation.
Yeah. Right. Sometimes you can't get it because some of the things and the resources at some of these schools, you only know by asking. You only know that there is this study group that meets on Tuesday nights by asking, hey, what are they doing? What group is that? Who is that? Have you seen? You know what I mean? And talking, but so many people feel so intimidated. They don't want to ask questions. They don't want people to think they don't know. They don't want to look dumb. And the truth is, what looks dumb is when the resources were right there under your nose and you never used any of them and you ended up doing so poorly with help right in front of you. Yeah.
Good college experience. I would love to be able to take a survey of students that got into their dream schools and ask them, how happy are you? I think that's a part of when I counsel, I don't counsel just for academic, but also for health and wellness as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because as you well know, we've had our share of issues that have come up ever since the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas. There's a very strong emphasis for counselors, not just in the area of academics, but also social and emotional well-being. And a lot of students put their own social and emotional health and wellness on the back burner.
Yeah.
And it will manifest itself under pressure. It will manifest itself in anxiety. It will manifest itself in depression. It will manifest itself in the student not being able to do well academically. So we should be concerned with the total person. And we should also say to, like I think you said earlier, find your tribe. If you get on this college campus, find your tribe, find your people, join a group, whatever it is, whether it's the first priority or whatever,
whatever
or
it
just
is.
a bowling.
Yeah, because it's some of everything. Because it's some of everything.
We don't tell them that. We stress the academics and da 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 da. Then when you get there, you have to live because you're not going to class 24 hours a day.
Right. Yeah.
You have to learn how to do your schedule. Make sure you register on time. We had a lot of problem with kids that. How many of you don't know? We done told you a million times when it's time to register. Yeah. And here you are showing up late. All the
day before classes, everything closed.
You up here taking a class on Thursday night from 6 to 9. That's your own fault. You don't read.
Right.
Brother, you got to learn how to register. Register on time next time.
Yeah. Register on time. Okay, so you talked about emotional health and well-being. Tell me, and you said it, a lot of people focus on GPA, test scores, all of those types of things that look good. But what does emotional, personal readiness for college look like from your perspective? What does that look like?
I think a student's ability to be able to communicate. A lot of students have a very, very difficult time. They can do the application, but they can't necessarily do the interview. And, we have to really begin, because if that's going to make the difference between you getting into a school or not, and you're not communicative, you haven't learned how to assimilate, you have not made yourself a well-rounded student where you were not just doing academics all the time, but you were doing community service. You served in, it could have been a church or a community-based activity. And it's not something that you just do to get your hours, but it's something that becomes a part of you and helps you to develop goodness. This is something I really enjoy doing. Maybe I could really get into this. Maybe don't tell me that you want to be a doctor. You have no people skills. You have the science. You're able to do the science classes. You're able to do well on your AP exams, but you have absolutely no ability to communicate. That is a very, very big problem with a lot of my high achievers. So if anything, I would really encourage students to be well-rounded in that regard. And then also helping them to be social. They're very competitive. High level achieving students are competitive, but they're not interactive. They know, again, what we talked about. They know how to get the grade. I want the A. I want the A. I want the B. I don't want to C. But you don't know how to communicate, not even with your own instructors.
Right.
You don't know how to talk. You go home and tell your mama before you go up to the teacher and say, can I have an opportunity to do that assignment over again? I think you will, because again, we're raising the next generation and generations to come. And that's one thing I find that's very much lacking. There's short patience and that they're anxious and that anxiety can lead to depression.
Yeah.
And it will manifest itself when they go away.
That's true.
I have a couple of kids that are graduating, and I really wish their parents would not send them away. I'm fearful because of that level of anxiety and pressure that they put on themselves. I want them to be well adjusted and to be well rounded. So that's very important, as well as the academic side. And again, talking, communicating, like you said, asking questions, telling somebody when you need help. I know almost, like, for example, I'm sure there's a health center. It's not just for like when you're sick, but you might need to go talk to somebody.
Most of the schools have licensed clinicians. They have all the things those are the resources. And those resources are a lot of times a part of your tuition. You don't even have to pay anything extra for it. So use it. You're already paying for it. Go use it. Go have a conversation. You need some tools. Maybe you need to go one time. Maybe you need to go every week, but you can go.
Whatever it is, again, they have to seek it out. And this goes to them being autonomous. They don't need to be calling their parents saying, hey, when should I go to the doctor? When should I go to the dentist? My toe is hurting. Again, it's supposed to teach them how to navigate in the real world. And those are very good tools that we can give our young people, that will help them to be better in society. Because that's what we're building. It's not just about what's happening right now. It's about what does your future look like? How are you going to get an internship? You don't know how to communicate. You don't talk. You don't know how to communicate. Again, it's competitive too, because if it's an interview and it's between you and a person that has been able to develop those skills, communication skills, I always try to encourage them for dual enrollment to take speech and communication, take public speaking, because that also, I'm not saying you have to be the greatest orator in the world, but you ought to be able to open your mouth and be able to speak, or be able to do a presentation. That's important, and I think that's something that we are lacking with a lot of students, because they use their parents as mouthpieces.
And the parents jump in it. The parents are right there. And that's what that's really interesting to me, that instead of encouraging, I want you to support your son or daughter, but instead of encouraging them to, like, okay, did you talk to the instructor? Well, why don't you make an appointment? Or something. Instead, they're on the phone. And the truth is, once we got FERPA rules, we can't, we're not talking to you. Who are you? Did you even get what? Yeah.
Listen, FERPA is extended also in the high schools now, because we have 18-year-olds. And I have, if a student comes into my office, and I had them even this year, and says, don't call my mom.
You can't.
And they're 18.
That's it. Yeah. You got it.
I'm from the old school. I really don't believe in that. But the truth is, if my neck is on the chopping block, then I have to obey the law.
Yeah, definitely.
And if that FERPA has not been signed in front of me, where I see the parent and the student signing, it has absolutely no validity whatsoever. It's important for us to do that. I'm also really concerned for some of the directions in demographics as it relates to our African American students, our brown students. I think a large portion of our population has dropped because of we were servicing so many students coming from other countries as well. We've had a tremendous drop in that. It's something we really, really have to pray about. We've got to vote about. We've got to get involved in legislation, because again, they're taking away all the funding. I think last week, Dade County is now going to be allowing charter schools within the public schools. Be very careful about that as well, because I'm not necessarily against all charter schools, but again, if they're not meeting the standards in terms of accreditation for our students, then I'm not for it. I support a parent's ability to be able to get a McKay scholarship if their student has an exceptionality. Okay, fine. Level the playing field. But make sure your child is getting a quality education from an accredited school that's going to afford them opportunity. It's not just about getting by and getting over. It's about making sure our students can get ahead. And they have to be well prepared in order to do that.
That accreditation piece is a big deal, because in my former lifetime, when I was really spending a lot of time with students who their parents had enrolled them, and it's not, I have no problem if you want to homeschool your children, if you want to send them to the little private church school, but some of these programs are not accredited. And I would have to tell students, you're going to need to take your GED. And the parents would be floored.
Livid.
They would just,
Livid.
because they were like, but it's an unaccredited school.
School. Right. And
And
at
that
the
is,
end of the day, do you have the math? I have some parents that push their kids to do all their math on FLVS. All right.
mm-hmm.
But their skill standard or their skill set is not as high. And it's not saying they're not getting the material. They are getting the material. All right. But your teacher is remote.
Yeah.
And you cannot necessarily have that one-on-one interaction because you're not in the classroom. You don't get a chance to test every scenario. Mm-hmm. So they give you the information, you regurgitate the information. Yeah. But that does not mean that you're well prepared and that your math skill set is where it needs to be. Because most of these schools like UF, they don't care that you got the pre-cal. They want to know, did you make it to calc?
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't care that you did Spanish 1 and 2. Now some of these schools are asking for 1, 2, 3, and 4. They want you to have more than what the bare minimum is or the basic minimum.
Right.
Utilizing a McKay scholarship to go to a charter school to put your kid in a smaller environment. I certainly understand that. Mm-hmm. But again, do your research and make sure that learn who's teaching your children. Make sure they're not sitting in somebody's kitchen while they're frying chickens.
Because all of those things do matter. Okay, Lady Joy, I got one more question for you. Yeah. Oh, let me see. Oh, yeah, I want to ask this one. What do you wish more families understood about what high school counselors can and cannot do in the college planning process?
What they can and what they cannot do.
Yeah, what do you wish that? Because I know people probably expect y'all to be able to do some things, like to make it all happen.
Yeah. And you're absolutely right. So one thing we cannot do, no matter what, I would say number one, the motivational piece, we cannot give to a student. We cannot do that. I think there's a high level of expectation, and I've been called on the carpet by parents as well about it. But if the student is not motivated, like for example, in terms of attendance, in terms of doing their work, in terms of wanting the same thing that the parents want, you cannot, that's something you cannot give. That has to be intrinsic. I think parents look for it to be extrinsic. Wow. Because they look for counselors, guidance counselors to solve those issues. But that's one thing we cannot do. We can't solve those issues. Then secondly, in terms of preparation for college, I wish more parents would allow their students to do the application process instead of taking it out of their hands. Don't take it away from them, because then they can't find their information. You the parent, you've set up the email, you practically wrote the essay.
Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
I'm trying to be diplomatic. Done it all for them, and it's not representative of who they are as a student. Again, there's nothing wrong with helping your child. I believe in that. I'm an advocate for that. But at some point, you have to take your hands off and you got to let them do that application. You got to let them be the ones to pick up the phone and call and find out what's going on with my application, or can I talk to somebody if I got waitlisted? Because it's very disappointing. And then the parent internalizes the failure. But if you don't make it, if as a parent, you don't make it about you and you make it about the student, then you don't have to, you can know that as a parent, I did my best. I have a lot of parents that, I had a mom this week tell me, oh, I failed my, no, you didn't fail him. You gave him every opportunity. He just didn't do what he was supposed to do, and he's going to learn from it. Yeah. And we have to allow our kids to be responsible. They're not getting enough of that responsibility because, again, parents are trying to micromanage and do it all for them. So I wish that they would do that. And then I really honestly want parents to be realistic about the goals they set for their student and just really ask their student, just do, no matter what, do your best. Do your best.
Do your
I don't
best.
care if you don't know everything. Can I tell you the truth? A lot of kids cheat to keep from disappointing their parents.
I believe it.
Big cheating culture. And they're finding more innovative ways to cheat on small things, small assignments, petty assignments,
things that they could probably do themselves.
If you would spend all of that time doing it,
right,
it would have been done.
Yeah.
But because we run everything through the plagiarism programs, and we just got a lot of that going on, a lot of cutting corners.
And in college, that can get you put out, and a lot of people don't understand that, and that can get you put all the way out.
Ease up and do the best you can, and let it be your work. Take pride. I tell kids all the time, take pride in what you do. Don't be angry at results you didn't get from work you didn't do. Don't be angry. Right. You didn't do it, so ain't no need for you to be mad at the teacher. But take pride in what you do. Fight for your A's and B's because you know you did your best and you put your all into it. Because what I am always concerned about is, what if something, God forbid, should happen to parents? What are your kids going to do? What are they going to know how to do?
Yeah.
How are they going to know how to be industrious without you being around? That's what we should be preparing them for. Preparing them for their future means taking our hands off and allowing them to do the work and allowing them to get themselves prepared. So I wish more parents would allow their students to get prepared, do their own research, be there as a guiding hand, but don't do it all for them.
Yeah.
And please, for goodness sake, don't think that the counselors can do it either. And don't be paying these companies these thousands of dollars with these lofty promises.
Yeah.
It's okay to work with somebody that you trust. Like, I will work with you, Miss Shauna, because I know that you know the ropes and I know you're going to give it to me straight. That's who you should be dealing with.
Yeah.
Don't deal with somebody that is demanding all of this money and telling you all of these things they can do. And again, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't measure out.
Yeah.
Because at some point you're going to hit a brick wall. Right. I don't care if you are able to get into your dream school. They still have to do the work.
Still have to do the work. No, I like what you said. I do believe, and I tell a lot of parents and the students that it's a partnership. It's a partnership between y'all and us, the university, and we want the parents to be involved, especially on this admission side, this enrollment side. We want the parents to be involved because they need to know what's going on. But you're right. Don't do it for them. Do it with them. And I see a lot of things, and I can almost immediately tell when a parent has done an application. I'm like, sometimes they put their own names on it, and I'm like,
yes. I had a mom that put her own email. I'm like, ma'am, it's not for you.
It's not for you. No, and then the student doesn't know anything, and they're relying on the parent to tell them everything, and the student has no clue. They're like, oh yeah, I applied. When? Are you checking your email? And the email is going to the parent, and it just take your hands off. I want you to work. I want the parent and the student to work together, and I want them to work with the university, with the admissions office, the enrollment office, the high school counselor. I want you to use all of those resources, but I do want you to let the student take the lead.
Right. Let them be autonomous, and it will teach them. It'll teach them to be on time. It'll teach them to register on time. It'll teach them to do their own research. I always tell my kids, do rate my professor. Just make sure that you're doing everything you can do so that you're ready on time. My kids get up, they'll be registering for the fall for BC, my dual enrollment kids, and it's on May the 18th. My kids get up, I instruct them, you're up at midnight. You've done your research. You have a list of classes in case you don't get into this one.
Right.
I tell them, you're the one that needs to do this. Your parent doesn't need to be the one up at midnight trying to grab an ENC 1101 or whatever. You need to be the one doing it because it goes very quickly.
It does.
And they get the sense that just because they fill out the form that gives them permission, that them, no, you're not done. You got to register.
You got to register, and you're going to register. And some of those classes are halfway full by the time, because all the students that were already in college, they need those classes too. So
absolutely,
they've already registered. So you got to be on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want them to have whatever it is that they want. I really do. I just want them to be encouraged to just try and to just do and not take the shortcuts. And I just want them to be happy and healthy and have what they want and enjoy their experience, whatever it is. A lot of kids are very unhappy.
Yeah.
Unhappy, and they carry that to the next level. They think, well, if I get into this school, that's going to change everything. No, my dad always used to say, wherever you go, there you are.
There you are.
Get it together now. Work on it now. Do what you need to do now so that when you get to where you want to be, you could be successful. You'll have your trials and tribulations, but you can make it. I want them to finish. I want to see more kids going off to school and actually earning the degrees.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I don't know about for your level, like the dropout rate, but
it's kind of high.
I don't want him to give up. I just want him to keep going. I told my son hopefully my oldest will finish in the spring. It's a race between him and the youngest because he stopped for a period of time after he got his associates. So now they in a competition. But I just told him, I said, no matter what, it doesn't matter. Learning is eternal and it's supposed to be ongoing. So it never stops. Just because you get to a certain level doesn't mean you stop learning. You keep learning. That's important, I think.
It is. No, I love that. I love that. And I love what you said. Even if you don't do well and you have the opportunity to come back, go back, finish, because you don't have to be stuck where you are. You don't have to carry that, well, I win, it didn't work out, because now it's easier than ever for non-traditional age students to go back to school to finish that degree. So stay encouraged. And if you need to transfer. If you need to switch majors, do it early, but switch majors, whatever it is you have to do, but use the resources and be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself and be okay being honest with your parents about what you're doing and what you're trying.
Be healthy. Be healthy.
Yeah, be healthy. Yeah. Be healthy. Lady Joy, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much.
You too.
Thank you so much.
It's a great conversation. Thank you for asking guidance counselors what we think. I appreciate it. Nobody don't ever ask us what we think.
Listen, I want to have the conversations with the people who are having the conversations with the people.
Yes. That's how you get to know. That's how they learn. That's how they move forward. And we have to do it too.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope today's conversation encourages you to look at challenges a little differently. Every experience may not go the way you planned, but every experience has something to teach you. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and let's keep unpacking it together.